In today's day and age, the many slogans, many terms become overly used, and as a result of that, you lose a lot of the true meaning of that. One of this meaning is a Ben Torah. What does it exactly mean to be a Ben Torah? To be called a Ben Torah to my humble opinion, is not necessarily a person that knows every single page, what everybody says, and so on and so forth. In other words, not just the mere intellectual property of his knowledge of Torah. A Ben Torah is a person that all his actions are a manifestation of the Torah that he learned. In other words, if a person has a tremendous knowledge of Torah and his actions do not reflect the values in which the Torah expected him to acquire, he's not a Ben Torah. He's not a true Ben Torah. He might know a lot, but he's not the son of the Torah. And that is a very difficult thing for us to understand, because we're very impressed by overwhelming knowledge. Oh, he knows everything by heart. You know, I was quite shocked, I think it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, when they say what really they were talking about the messy professors, you know, that they forget where they put the keys and so on and so forth. So they say, this is quite interesting, they say that there is something to it, that those brilliant minds, brilliant people, don't remember everything. They only remember, because so-called, call it evolution, whatever, is not, you're not meant to remember everything. You only need to remember what's essential to you. So the smarter you are, the more you'll forget. Okay? That's why I call it the messy professor. So not always to have a memory that remembers everything. It's good, because then you basically miss a lot of the details. You are always remember things. You're actually not applying things. And the way to apply, right, in order for your survival, you remember and then you apply. And that's how we became smarter, right? Trial and error. If we always remember things and we're not busy applying things, we actually become stagnant in our development. And the same thing to a Ben Torah. You learn something, you need to apply it to your actions. Your actions needs to be a reflection of your knowledge. And we do have cases of even chief rabbis in Israel that in jail because they took bribery and they took this and they took that and so on and so forth. So the refinement of your actions speaks louder than the amount of knowledge you have as what is called a true Ben Torah. When we use the word Edel Yid, he's Edel. It doesn't mean he's a wimp, he's like this. Because then, it's a game. Edel is refining his actions. In other words, he says the truth when the truth needs to be said. He says what needs to be said when it needs to be said, and he keeps quiet when it needs to be quiet. Because if you're so gentle that you don't say what needs to be said when it's time to need to be said, you're wrong. You're not refined Jew. Refinement in the eyes of the Judaism is quite different. Many times when we say Edel Yid, an Edel Jew, we are not talking about a person who is a gentleman, so-called like a gentle. When we say a gentleman, it doesn't mean he's gentle. Like a woman gentle, right? Talking about a person whose actions are gentle, is refined. So if you want to see who is a true Ben Torah, look how refined he is with his actions. Look how he incorporates and directs all his actions through the eyes of Torah with as little as you can self-interest. So much that I read somewhere that says, even if your desire to get closer to Hashem so you can reach a higher spiritual, you're still not doing it lishma. It's very interesting. Forget who said that. I forgot who said it. Some Hasidic Rebbe said that. He said that the true emunah of Hashem is to do exactly what Hashem asks you, not more and not less. To do mitzvot Hashem, not more, not less. Exactly as it is. That's basically what's brought in last week's parasha. That they build the Mishkan exactly as HaKadosh Baruch Hu told them. No more, no less. They didn't add any chumrot. They didn't add any kulot. Exactly what the din says. And that should be our desire as well. To do Ratzon Hashem. And one needs to ask himself and evaluate his action before he's about to do something. Does Hashem really want me to do so? I mean, truthfully. Does Hashem really want me to do that? Is Hashem really interested in me doing this over that? How is this going to look in the eyes of Hashem? If you're able to do so, you save yourself from a lot of headache, and you probably save yourself from a lot of averot. And the biggest thing, you save yourself from a lot of lies that you most likely tell yourself. Is that's what Hashem wants me to do? If it's yes, do it. If it's not, don't do it. And with this, boys and girls, have a good day.